And I feel like any woman hearing this is going to be like, wow, he knows absolutely nothing about a female's anatomy.
I want to read some of this with that in mind.
The Ponder Freak podcast starts now.
What is up, Ponder Freak Nation? Welcome to another episode of the Ponder Freak podcast, a podcast that thinks too deeply into hypotheticals, real scenarios, and random questions. I'm Stephen Kelley. Hemi is here today as well, obviously, because he's always here every day we record.
One of these days I'm not going to be. Oh, and you're going to miss me.
No, well, then I'll just do like a hand puppet and mimic you being here, and I don't think the listeners will know.
Oh, it's me. I have a green beard. Hello.
Okay. It would actually be
identical.
easy to make a sock puppet with a green beard. Someone needs to do that.
Yeah, it would basically be me, for sure.
All right, moving on. I'm sure you've noticed by now that the Ponder Freak podcast is a featured podcast on Podcast Republic. You can listen on either Podcast Republic's website or the Podcast Republic Android app. Go to the Google Play Store and download the Podcast Republic app. It is a fantastic app that allows you to get all your favorite podcasts directly on your Android devices. Make sure to set Ponder Freak as a favorite. We'd appreciate it so you don't miss any new episodes. Again, the app is Podcast Republic, available on your Android device. Okay, guys, I have a request. Those of you listening, if you like our show, big if, I know. But if you do, please subscribe wherever you are. Share it, like it, comment, rate it. Anything you can do, like if you're listening on Stitcher or iHeartRadio, whatever those places are, whatever you can do to elevate a show would be super appreciated. Okay? Man, that sounded like one of those marathons where one of those free radio stations is trying to collect money. Do you know what those funds do? Would you like a coffee mug that you're not going to use? Huh?
Ooh, coffee mugs. I drink out of a Ponder Freak coffee mug.
Now we're going to get like one fan that's like, I subscribed. I was told there's coffee mugs.
Can I get a coffee mug? Maybe. You might be able to. With enough subscriptions and with your $1 million donations that we absolutely need, we can provide one coffee mug.
Okay. There's going to be some eccentric millionaire that's going to be like, oh, hey, I subscribed and I like it. Here's $1 million. Give me the coffee mug. If someone gives us $1 million, I'm not, no lie, I have a coffee mug from my childhood. This is a vintage coffee mug. I got it from Universal Studios before all the new stuff.
Ooh.
So this coffee mug has Rocky and Bullwinkle on it. Some of the old shows is on this coffee mug. Pristine condition, never used because I was a kid. Kids don't drink coffee. If they do, that's a problem.
Man, I personally feel like investing in your coffee mug right now. If I had $1 million, I would do it.
Yeah, I will give you that coffee mug. It even has my name on it.
Oh my
But you can,
God.
But you can have it.
Oh, somebody please invest. Oh, it's so worthwhile. It's got his name, Rocky and Bullwinkle.
This is so weird. But yeah, if someone gave us that amount of money, you could have that coffee mug. You know what? I'm actually really attached to it. I think I'm trying to remember. I think my mother got it for me.
Man. And you would,
I'm talking, this is deep childhood.
You would just sell it off for $1 million.
Oh man, now I feel bad.
No, I would too.
She doesn't know I still have it. She doesn't remember it, I bet.
I feel like your mom would be like, why wouldn't you sell it off for $1 million? Do you know how many coffee mugs you can buy for $1 million?
But none like this. This one's not made anymore.
Fair enough, but you know what? Her love is constant and continuous.
Think about it. This was a small store at Universal Studios that sold, trinkets and toys and all of that. And they had like coffee mugs. Like,
that was for the parents.
These were for kids?
No, that was for the parents.
They didn't know what to sell to them.
That was for the parents. Because they had to go through the store too.
You think so?
For sure. Because they had to go through the store too. Okay. So they might be like, okay, cool.
You're right.
Yeah, and Rocky and Bullwinkle, my mom loved Rocky and Bullwinkle. That was for parents.
Yeah, it's got Natasha and
Boris.
What was his name?
Boris.
Boris.
It was Boris.
But
I
don't know.
that accent.
Boris. Yeah, Boris is on there too. It has a little sweeping person on the inside where they sweep the show off at the end. You're done.
Man, you're done.
You're done. It's sold. That's 1 million and it's yours.
All right, cool. Good stuff, man. Well, on that note, anyone who wants to donate, feel free. We need your money. No, I'm kidding. But we do need your money. But I have a thing that I'm going to say today that I stole from Reddit from somebody called Cat Birthday Party. So you can only imagine what this might be about. So this is how it goes. I've had my cat since he was 6 months old. He was an unadoptable rescue. He had so-called unsurvivable pneumonia, and when healthy, was nothing but fear aggression. Was nothing but fear aggression. Does that even make sense?
Scared and attacks you is what I got. But yes, that it's not quite English, arguably.
It's a weird sentence. Anyway, all right, cool. I was basically cat hospice. Well, he lived, and he loved. He's the purringest, snuggliest, sweetest cat. He is now a chubby 16-year-old with arthritis, treated with desiccant, which has helped immensely, but he's not a kitten anymore. We used to live in a first-floor apartment where we could sit outside and I could read and he could be on his tie-out and watch birds. Now, we don't anymore. Shortly before his 16th birthday, he slipped and/or fell off the bathroom vanity. I didn't see it happen. I only saw the cat who couldn't stand without screaming afterwards. We rushed him into the vet, and miraculously, nothing was broken. But that left the question of what he did do. Even in a bad sprain, it may always be weak, and he may never walk normally again or walk at all.
I want to say something real quick here. A cat's ego could get hurt.
Really?
Which is, yes. So if it's been, I don't know if this has been studied, but cats know when they laugh at you, when you laugh at them, I should say. So let's say they miss a jump and you laugh. Sometimes that cat won't attempt that jump anymore.
Oh, they have feelings.
They have feelings and they know when you're laughing. It's like a dog knows when you laugh. And kind of reacts and wags. They kind of catch on to what that means you're happy. But it could also be like, oh, like you tried that jump and you made me happy by failing. You know what I mean? They can connect those dots, I think, which is so strange.
That is really strange.
So I'm wondering if the cat just like was missed and was like, man, I'm old as shit. And this is, I don't want to do anything anymore.
Oh,
I'm in pain. I'm suffering because I just can't.
Poor fat little guy.
All right, sorry. I just wanted to put that out there because that's a funny angle to consider in the middle of all this.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I did not know that cats had emotions like that. Okay, cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So, if he tore a tendon or ligament, it was basically over. Orthopedic surgeries and senior cats don't usually end well. For a week and a half, we brought him food and water. We gave him his pain meds. We set him in the litter and held him up. We lifted him onto and off of the bed. It was basically a cat nursing home up in here. Just when we thought he would never get up again, he did exactly that. Then he walked a few steps. Then it was cat PT, making him go a little further every day, getting his strength back up. A month later, aside from sitting over on one hip when he sits, you would never know he had ever been hurt. For his 16th, I loaded him into the car, which he doesn't mind at all, and took him to a park by the lake. He spent a couple hours watching ducks and warming his old bones in the sun. My boyfriend was indignant.
How the cat doesn't even know it's his birthday. What a waste of time. Who does that?
Etc., etc. No, he doesn't know it's his birthday, but he knows he's doing something he enjoys. He knows he feels better than he had been. He knows those things. Now, it's 3 months later, and my boyfriend is still on about cat birthday outings. I don't get it. He helped care for him when he was injured and did probably more than I did because I worked 10-hour shifts. So I guess staying home to care for an injured cat isn't crazy cat person, but taking the cat to a park is? I mean, there's whole parks devoted to dogs where dogs can see their dog friends. So what's weird about taking a cat out for one afternoon? He's really starting to make me feel like shit about it. The too long didn't read is senior cat was seriously injured. He recovered, and I took him to the park to celebrate his 16th birthday. Boyfriend is acting like I murdered his family over it. Am I crazy? Is she crazy?
No, not at all. I mean, it's a little life. I mean, you kind of have that stigma in society of taking your cat out. Just, I don't know if it's a sense of the cat itself, but it's like, why are you taking that risk? Because like a little fenced in area, cats just go over that. They don't care. So you can't have like the same setup as like a dog park.
Right.
But if you put a cat in a harness and walk them on a leash and they stay with you, some cats do. I feel like this is something we haven't like truly tested. But I've seen cats in a harness on like little YouTube videos and stuff. Not in person.
Yeah, I think I saw a cat on a leash in person once, and it was hilarious. It was really funny because the cats that I've had don't want to be around you that often. They do their own thing, and they don't like restrictions. So putting a cat on a leash, from what I've seen,
Right.
they don't really like it. But if there's a cat that does, and if he doesn't mind going out and wants to go to the park and chill out and watch birds, then why not? Why not take him?
Yeah, I agree.
What's the problem? I don't get it.
I would dare to say that's not going to be a huge majority, but I think there is cats that are like, oh, I dig this. I'll conform to this to see more of the world.
Yeah, totally. What a great benefit for the cat.
Right. And if she's willing to test it, you know, and she's like, oh, I think the cat likes this. And the cat, like, I think after a while, just like a dog, you get something out and the dog's like, oh, I'm really into that shit. Like, I wag my tail. I want that. You know, like the dog is obvious. And if the cat keeps coming up to you every time you get the harness out, I would dare to say the cat's like, I'm in. I'm not going to show I enjoy it like a dog, but I'm in.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm here.
Right.
Because if a cat doesn't want to go, the cat will see the harness and be like, I'm going to go get in the smallest part of the house you can't get to.
Yes, which is every part of the house pretty much. Cats can get into the smallest fucking areas, and they love it. Dogs do too, because before we had a bed that didn't sit up super high, and we got two little dogs. One is very small. This very small one could fit under the bed. The slightly larger one could not. It was very depressing for that particular dog. That dog's name is Pastry, by the way. Now that we have a new bed, it sits up way higher. Both of them can get under the bed. Oh, they love it. They just love it. They love being in the small little areas where they feel like they can't be attacked from, I guess. So it's easier for them to feel safe.
Yes, that is their den. They want a front opening, but then they want their sides and backside to be covered so they have less to pay attention to. It helps them relax.
Yeah, makes sense. I feel the same way. I shut doors all the time. I know where people may come in from, intruders of sorts. And I feel substantially more relaxed with these doors closed. Yep.
There you go. They at least have to open them, make sounds.
So, obviously, this is an interesting story, and I think we're both on the side of, the boyfriend is a little crazy. 3 months later, still complaining about the birthday situation, and she said that she took him for, what was it, like 2 hours? Something like that? What is the problem? What are you mad? So, why is he mad? Does she not do nice things for him on his birthday?
I want to be. Oh well, okay, that would be funny. I want to be a fly on the wall. I have a feeling she's like cooking breakfast, says something about the cat, and he's like, "Oh, like that time you took the cat to the park." Like, go like maybe he's making a joke. And she's like, "He's still bringing it up." How, like, what's going on here? Because it is kind of weird to take the cat to the park. It's nothing to be angry, like world ending over, like she's describing. But I'm wondering if he's just making jokes about it now, but it's still stinging like it did before.
Maybe. But one of the things that he said was, what a waste of time. And who does that?
Oh.
So that's to me, that sounds a little more condescending. Like, yo, you're mad ridiculous for this.
Yeah, that's heavy. That's heavy. That's not a good joke at all.
Yeah, instead of being like, hey, you want to go stop by the park real quick with the cat and then we can go. You know what I mean? It's not like a jokey situation. So he seems a little irritated.
Yeah. No. Okay. So based on the info, it's a lot heavier. I got you. Okay. Let's see. Let's really dig into his mind. He's an asshole. I think I'm done digging.
It seems
I think
like
we
it.
Figured it out.
I think I agree. But you know what? Well, either he's an asshole, or, as I said before, he's not getting remotely the same attention as the cat does from her. Maybe.
So he's a jealous asshole. So we're just adding adjectives.
A jealous asshole for sure, but maybe she's being an asshole too because she's potentially giving the cat more attention than her loved one.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
I have no clue. I'm just saying I feel like usually when there's less love in a relationship, then you lash out more.
Okay. I see it. I see it.
And he seems to be the one lashing out. So he could totally just be an asshole, for sure.
Right.
Or maybe he's not getting the same kind of love. Maybe he's like, damn, like, you didn't do shit for me on my birthday, really. But you took the cat out to the park and y'all just, like, chilled. It's kind of fucked up. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, they must have gone out to dinner or something at least.
Who knows? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe that's why he's mad.
But maybe he really wanted to go to the park and look at the birds. And he's like, well, it's just her and the cat out there, and not me.
Yeah, maybe he wanted to go with him, and he wasn't invited. And he's like,
yeah, stupid cat. Stupid cat taking him to the park. Who would want to go do that? Me.
All right. I got it.
Okay.
All right. So the cat in this situation, there is no cat. She is actually talking about her vagina. All right.
Okay.
So what's going on here is she went and messed with herself at the park.
Okay.
For 2 hours. And she's annoyed, but this is how she's talking about it, and no one caught on.
That's amazing. I love it because what's crazy is her vagina slipped and or fell off the bathroom vanity.
See, that means they were doing extracurriculars and she injured herself. And the vet is just a regular doctor. So maybe she had a vagina sprain.
Yeah.
Is that possible? Can you have a vagina sprain?
Yeah, but look.
Is your joints hurting in there?
Yeah.
Man, I feel like any woman hearing this is going to be like, wow, he knows absolutely nothing about a female's anatomy.
I want to read some of this with that in mind. I'm going to restart, but with a different context. Okay, let's just a few sentences at least. Let's just see how it goes. Okay.
Like a romantic novel. I'm excited.
All right. I've had my vagina since he was 6 months old. He was an he was an unadoptable rescue. He had so-called unsurvivable pneumonia, and when healthy, was nothing but fear aggression, which still doesn't make sense, even with a vagina.
Okay, so an STD, and the beginning part is her finding her womanhood. Adopting the unadoptable.
Okay.
She named it he because it's all gender fluid. You don't need to put labels. So she identified her vagina as more masculine. Why not?
Okay. Unsurvivable pneumonia.
All right. So keep going.
No. You have to explain that part. Unsurvivable pneumonia for the vagina?
Yeah. That is a permanent STD.
Oh, okay.
Or STI, whatever you want to call it.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. So then she continues. I was basically vagina hospice. Well, he lived.
Her love life was dead.
This is amazing.
Okay.
This is amazing.
Or dying.
He lived and he loved. He's the purringest, snuggliest, sweetest vagina.
Purring's a vibrator. Okay.
He's now a Oh my God, this is great. He is now a chubby 16-year-old with arthritis.
Healthy, fat, but overused.
Oh Oh man, this is amazing. Okay, all right. Treated with Dasikin, which has helped immensely, but he's not a kitten anymore.
Got a little dust on it, but still functioning.
Oh man, we used to live in a first floor apartment where we could sit outside and I could read and he could be on his tie out and watch birds. Now we don't anymore. Shortly before his 16th birthday, he slipped and/or fell off the bathroom vanity. I didn't see it happen. I only saw the vagina who couldn't stand without screaming afterwards. We rushed him to the vet, and miraculously nothing was broken. But that left the question of what he did do. Even in a bad sprain, it may always be weak, and he may never walk normally again, or walk at all. So no moving vaginas anymore. Yeah, we'll go ahead and stop reading here, but it's pretty fucking hilarious looking at it from a vaginal point of view. Also, the hilariousness is that you took your vagina to the park on your birthday. Because it's your vagina's birthday.
There you go.
Yeah, so...
Yeah. There are strange anniversaries for people. I'm sure that they celebrate. Maybe this is one of those.
A vaginal birthday celebration.
Like she found her womanhood and expressing herself, exploring herself, and she celebrates it.
It's awesome, man.
By going to the park.
So he's definitely an asshole.
Well, no, because I think he has a good argument, and he's like, hey, you shouldn't go do that at the park. Please keep that at home.
What if you're into it?
Please. He sounds like a very sane person all of a sudden.
No one's ever had sex publicly? No one listening has ever had sex in a public place.
Okay, you're not wrong.
On your birthday? Of all days.
When are we at the park?
I have never had sex at a park.
And how many kids are around? Hemi. Is my concern.
It doesn't say, but it does say ducks are around. That's the only thing. Ducks, which apparently her vagina is totally into. Watching ducks. And warming his old bones in the sun. His old bones.
We took like a mostly wholesome thing where a guy's being an asshole clearly and just turned it into this mutated filth.
That is exactly why I picked this. I expected nothing less from us.
That's fair.
Let's turn him back into a cat, right? So let's say he's actually a cat.
Yes.
Okay. How far can loving your cat go? To the extent of when do you start becoming a little creepy? Like, let's say you like to dress your cat up, and seemingly your cat enjoyed being dressed up, and your cat liked wearing nice clothes. And once your cat was wearing nice clothes, you found a club that you could go to, a nightclub that you could go to that allowed cats. Are you really weird for taking your cat out to a club if it enjoys it and wearing nice clothes? Are you a crazy cat person, or are you just a loving individual?
It's getting blurry. That's for sure. I can tell you that. Okay.
Let's use Mulligan as an example. We both know Mulligan looks good in a bow tie. We both know he does. He is a fancy little gentleman. We both know that.
I see him as family. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Right? I definitely see him as family. I would dare to say something along those levels of like, oh, let's say he likes wearing clothes. And he likes meeting other dogs that wear clothes. I could see myself taking a couple hours out of my week and making that happen. I think the weird part really starts to click in. Like, if you tell anyone that, they're going to be like, that's weird, right?
Yep.
Which is fine. So you can kind of argue that line's there. But I would dare to say, is this consuming you? Is this your 8 hours a day? Are you hurting at work because you're spending the night hours at these clubs with your dressed up pet?
Yeah, so basically you're saying there's a problem with hoarding, there's a problem with hoarding, but if you have some excess stuff, not a big deal. You're basically saying everything is fine in moderation.
Yeah. Not everything, but that's the gist.
Yeah, not everything, because you're not going to take your dog to a sex party. That's definitely weird.
Yes.
Let's all agree that would be a crazy dog and or cat person, someone who takes their dog and or cat to a sex club of sorts. That's weird.
If Mulligan's there to meet a female dog and I'm a wingman, it's getting a little odd.
That is actually really funny that you could be a wingman for your dog. Like, what do you do? How do you approach a female dog and be like, yo, so my little homie here is looking for some dog.
Well, here's the thing. The dogs will connect or not connect pretty quickly, right? But in order for Mulligan to keep dating, I have to swoon the other owner, male or female, or whoever they identify as. So I have to put on my charm for him to have more dates.
Right. So how would you do that?
So how would I do that?
Steven, I'm a female dog right now, okay? And you roll up with Mulligan as his wingman. How might you get the...
Did you just say you're the other owner? Is this... We're playing this out?
No, I said I'm a female dog right now. How might you be the wingman for him? You're not talking to an owner.
Well, if you're the female dog, that's easy. It's on him. I do not speak dog. I'm not... There's no ass sniffing coming for me. So...
No.
That is on Mulligan to the other dog.
He's too nervous. He's too nervous. You're just throwing him to the wolves. You got to do it.
Oh.
What would you say? How are you going to coax me into wanting to holler at your boy Mulligan?
Okay, well, if we're doing... he is nervous. That's fair. And he probably would run away a few times.
See?
Which is hard to get. I think he's actually playing the long con, which is perfect.
Yeah, that's how you end up with a wife. You wait it out. You go forever. You just wait, and she'll be there.
Yeah, I don't see Mulligan messing with several dogs. I think he would settle pretty quick. But if I'm helping him with a female, I would pick him up to make him less nervous, and hopefully the other owner does too. Get a little sniffing in without him being worried about being bitten, and see where it goes.
But what would you say to the other dog? You're a wingman. Okay, Steven. If me and you...
I can't butter up another dog.
I'm asking you to do that. This is a hypothetical podcast. I'm sorry I'm going outside of the bounds of you sweet-talking an animal.
Well,
but I think it's hilarious.
I would want her comfortable.
Okay.
Which is it's weird to get into, but I would be like, what's she into? Which is also weird to say. And the owner would be like, oh, scratch her belly. Which is also weird because I would scratch her belly. Molly would come up and do this weird, like, nervous tail wag probably and sniff her while she's, like, prone and not dangerous because I'm rubbing her. So it feels like an awkward threesome that I don't want to be part of.
I was going to say that. He might, with you scratching her belly, he might be like, whoa, you're moving a little too fast. You're moving in on my girl right now. I thought you were helping me out.
No, it would be because I'm a human and there's no attraction there.
But he doesn't know that.
Just
Steven.
let me out of this situation.
He doesn't know it.
I don't want to be here.
Let me out of this situation. Hey, look, if we're going to talk about creepy cat people, we're also going to talk about creepy dog people. And if we don't know anyone, we're going to turn you into one so we can have something to talk about here.
I think it'd be funnier for me to try to charm the owner, if we're being honest. Because, like, what do you do there? Do I just...
Oh, hey, like, what kind of breed of dog you got? Oh, that's cool. Do you want to get a drink sometime and then our dogs hang out?
Like, what? What?
That would be weird. It would totally be weird.
Yeah. But it'd be the best wingmanning, because then Mulligan's repeatedly exposed to the same dog to where he gets used to her. But,
so, what if you do both? What if you start that way? And then you've already made it weird. And then you're like,
oh, hey, Mulligan, look at, let's just call her Daisy. Look at Daisy over here, huh?
Look at Daisy.
You into her? think she might be into you, big fella. Huh? It's, maybe we can set up a little play date, For Mulligan and Daisy.
That would be mad awkward. It'd be super funny, though. That'd be great.
Well, I hope she doesn't require much because he's a rescue, so he doesn't have his testicles.
Oh, but you know what? He's still able to get it in.
Oh.
They just can't have puppies.
Oh.
He can still get it popping.
Oh. I don't.
He can't?
Nope. No, I'm not. No, technically, no. There's no. Okay, no, stop. No.
Well,
We're not, there's no getting it in. We're not talking about explicit sexual relations on a dog level. I'm just not going there. We already did, so we have, but I'm not going any further. How's that?
Aw, this guy. What happened to the hypothetical podcast?
We hypotheticaled every angle. We talked about a lady. Is it okay to take her cat out? Oh, by the way, your dog's getting it in, right? Like, no, there's no, we just jumped the Grand Canyon.
It makes sense. There's a line of logic that goes directly from there to where we are.
It's a line of something.
It's a very thin line. It's a super thin line, but it's there. It exists. Yeah, man. Right, so what other things do you think would be pushing the lines of weird cat owner? Because clearly she doesn't fit the mold. She's just being a good cat owner. And he thinks she's weird.
I would dare to say, in this situation, I'm going to go ahead and say he's wrong. Crazy cat owner would number of cats.
Why?
You see a pet as family, but are you like putting them in a high chair for their little meals? Like what? Like there's weird angles.
How many cats is too many cats?
That's tough. I feel like I might offend someone I know.
Just do it. Just do it. Stop worrying about what people think. This is all entertainment.
No. I'm not worried.
How many?
It's just funny
off the top.
Because I'm thinking of like I know someone directly that has like 5 cats, and I've never thought it's crazy because they were kind of. But that's a high number.
But I thought 5. That was my first thought.
It's a high.
So was that your first thought? Were you thinking 5?
Yeah, it was up. Yeah,
there it is.
I would dare to say 5 or more.
There it is. But with that in mind, how many kids is too much? Huh? There's plenty of people.
Kids?
Yeah, there's plenty of people, I'm sure, who have 5 kids.
Personally, for me, one would be too much. So we're gonna go ahead and keep that 0 nice and solid.
Yeah, no, I feel you. But 5 kids. Are you a crazy kid lady if you have 5 kids?
To be honest with you, though, it's actually the other way. Because Joe, she doesn't want kids, and I've always been cool with that. But, I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, you'll grow out of it. Or, oh, that's different. Like, she's been hit with the crazy no kids lady.
Right.
Like, you don't want to be a mom? She's like, nope. But... she's like, nah, to be honest, I feel like it would stress me out, and I don't think I would be a good mom because of my patience. And it's just like, but yeah. And it's just like, no. I feel like if you understand yourself that way and don't want to do that to your body or take that risk, that's completely up to you. But I would dare to say she gets odd looks because of that.
No, I agree. I think ultimately it's totally up to whoever to make whatever decision. And if you were to call them crazy, that's weird because you're not in their shoes. So just as you said, she, may not have the patience for it, whatever. Well, then that's a good decision. Because if she were to have a kid or multiple kids and didn't have the patience she would need to be the best mother possible, then she would be doing the kids a disservice. So really, she's being a better mom by making a great decision right now, which is great. But some people,
there you go.
Some people have a lot of kids and they may not even care for the kids how they need to. So I think ultimately you are a crazy whatever person if you're unable to care for whatever, children or dogs or cats or whatever If you,
Okay, so you're saying when it overwhelms your resources and your capacity to love and care.
yeah, I think that is exactly when you're a crazy whatever person because now you're just collecting.
Okay.
You're not even really caring about them. Like I have 2 dogs, love them. They're walked all the time, fed all the time. They get T words. I can't say it because as soon as I do, they'll start bouncing and jumping and wagging tails and stuff. So, like, it's really easy for me to love those 2 little guys. Now, if I were to have a third, I think I could still do it, but training would be substantially more difficult because I'm still trying to teach these little buttheads certain things, like don't bark in certain situations and blah, blah, blah. And I'm trying to do better at doing that. And if there were to be a third, because Pastry was great by herself. And then as soon as we get this little butthead, he barks a lot. So now she barks a little more. So she learned some bad habits from this guy. So we're trying to rectify the situation and what have you. If you were to put another dog into the equation, I feel like it would be more complicated to keep up with everyone as well. I think I could totally do it, but I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to have 3 dogs simultaneously. So I know my limitations.
Well, there you go.
And so I think I am not a crazy dog person because of that. But I also work from home, so I spend the vast majority of the day with my dogs. So you can't say necessarily if you spend a lot of time with a dog or a cat or whatever that you would be a crazy cat or dog person. I think it's really just when you, unless you're spending more time with your animals than with humans because you would rather not put yourself into society. You're too afraid to go out and be amongst humans and you feel more comfortable around cats or dogs. Then I think you start...
Well, if you understand that about yourself, though, as long as you're not hurting them and hurting other people.
Totally.
So, like in this case, if the person has a boyfriend, but is still, like you said, prefers more time with their animals to the point where the boyfriend's like, hey, I'm lashing out because we're in a relationship, but it doesn't feel like it because of your amount of energy you're putting into your animals.
Right. Then I think that's a problem. And I think it may also just be a problem even if and if you're just like an elderly person who really doesn't, can't move around crazily, and you have cats and you are able to take care of them, but you just don't go out, then that's fine. I mean, you're doing what you can do and you have companionship, and that's awesome. But I do think there's a huge benefit to human interaction as a whole, human to human interaction, just, talking, whatever, even if you're, typing to somebody online, texting, whatever, something, some form of communication, because when you stop doing that and you only focus on just your animals, I feel like you are technically maybe doing yourself a disservice. But not saying you can't take care of your animals, not saying you can't live a great life, not saying anything like that. I'm just saying that, maybe you should explore talking to some other humans too, just to see where life takes you. See how that does.
So wholesome.
Yeah.
I like it. I think we should end on that. Just a nice little wholesome. Nothing wrong with what you're doing, but nothing wrong with expanding too.
Yeah, totally. We had to bring it back after we were trying to set up our dogs with other dogs and be their wingman. We had to bring it back to the wholesome side. Here at Panda Freak, we like to look at all different angles for everything and speak about them openly without fear.
There you go.
And here we are.
Done.
Here we are, guys.
All right. Thank you so much for listening to our show. It truly means a lot. Find us wherever you find your favorite podcasts and check us out on social media. Just search Panda Freak. We can't wait to hear from you. Till next time.